Well, welcome to today's rant. And the subject for today is that all heaven is breaking loose. It is. Heaven is breaking out everywhere. Awesome things are happening. And, Lord said the kingdom does not come with signs to be observed, necessarily physical signs. We have to have the eyes of our hearts opened to see what's going on. But in some cases, it's getting so, there's such a breakthrough, you can start to see it in the natural too. But anyway, I think it's been about a week since I've gotten with you, those of you who I meet everywhere who watch this rant, and I really appreciate that and the encouragement. But it has been one busy week for me. I was early last week, went down to Lakeland, Florida, where I spoke at Jeremiah Johnson's ministry conference he had going, and that was just an awesome time. Really love Jeremiah Johnson, what he's doing, but he had brought together 20 or so of what he felt like were young, emerging prophetic leaders, and we got together at his house the first night I was there, and it was just a really special time. And I was so impressed with so many of these people, and really gives you hope for the future. And then, of course, I spoke in his conference and got to see David Ravenhill, Leonard Ravenhill's son, who I've not seen in many years. And it was just a blessing to see him. And he is a profound thinker and teacher. And, just everything he says, you can tell he thinks about it deeply. And it's not shallow, kind of like his dad, who I knew his father better than I knew David, but Leonard Ravenhill, I think one of the great preachers and teachers of his generation. But he's reaching into every generation. His books are classics that get discovered by every generation. And but anyway, had a great time, and Dr. Michael Brown was there, who I've known for decades, and think the world of him and his, uncompromising devotion to the truth, as he's been given the grace to see it, and others too. That, anyway, it's just a great time in Lakeland. But then I got to go home to see my wife and dogs for one day. I thought I was going to get a little longer, and weather chased me out, which I was glad it did. I had some meetings with some movie producers in southern Florida, and we had several days of real encouraging time together. And maybe something began that will complete the project of the Final Quest movie. It's hard to say. There is so much to making a movie. People don't realize. They think you just get a script and start shooting, get your people together, but just coordinating schedules with people's unbelievable task. And when you're investing tens of millions of dollars in something, you can't do it haphazardly. But anyway, I was, a couple of the guys who were there in this meeting I've known for a long time, and so appreciate them and their work. Met a new producer I'd never met before, but one of the emerging, maybe young, great producers, directors coming up, and I'm very impressed with him. Really enjoyed being with all those guys, and stuff happened. I felt like some really concrete direction came and steps, and we're moving forward. We'll just see, because it still takes a while to get something like this really off the ground. But anyway, that was very encouraging. And then let me tell you one other thing. It'll be hitting probably national news pretty quickly. We filed a federal lawsuit against our local county here for the, we feel like they violated our constitutional rights, our religious liberty, some other ways. We presented the evidence in the complaint. It's a pretty extensive complaint, covers many things, but I've already got media people lining up to do interviews, and talk about this. I'm sure it'll be covered extensively and probably for some time. I've talked to you about it, and of course all of our people for some time. We felt like we had to do everything we could to avoid this. I think we didn't just turn the other cheek once. We probably turned it 50 times and didn't just walk an extra mile trying to work this stuff out. We walked an extra 100 miles. We just did everything we could right up until a few months ago. But, just contacting the county and the county attorneys and county councilmen, just saying, listen, let's just sit down and see if there's any way to resolve this before it escalates. And we actually received insults in return. And but it's the way things are. And we finally said we have to do this. But anyway, we'll make the whole complaint. It is public record already. The media's gotten hold of the whole thing. They're reading it and going over it. And, we'll make it available probably on our website. And why we think these were serious and egregious violations and why we had to finally do this. And I think the evidence is pretty strong that we've presented and that we have in this case. So it is going to be in federal court now, and we've already appealed things. There are irregularities in the way we've been treated, even by the local courts, that I think are going to end up getting looked into. We feel like there's some very serious violations of our basic rights. And but anyway, it's done now. It's out there, and it is going to probably be a big public thing. And we just want justice on the part. It's all about our tower and finishing our tower. There are both state and federal laws that prohibit any government entity from forbidding a religious institution from developing its own property. And we have been hindered for 10 years now, denied, and we think very illegally. Things that were done to us that were not just wrong, they were illegal. So it's all out there now. And, that's part of it. Many years ago, I felt the Lord spoke to us that we need to learn to fight in court. And we had a similar thing happen in North Carolina, and we had to go to court, went to a jury trial, and we won. We lost at the first level, which they tell me you always lose at the first level. They just rubber stamp the local government or whatever, and that happened to us there. But next level, we won resoundingly. And we feel like we've got a real strong case here. And but it's bound to be public because we're a public organization. MorningStar doesn't belong to me. It belongs to you. It belongs to our supporters and our church members and everybody connected to us. So we're acting as stewards as your steward and steward of all this. It's not my tower, not my property, but I want to be the best steward I possibly can for the King of Kings and for his people. That's my resolve. So anyway, just wanted to alert you to that. And, we've said for many years we may die of a lot of things, but boredom is not going to be one of them. And I think we've proven over and over that, there are a lot of things that, we get into, but it's never boring. And how can Christianity ever be boring? We are living the greatest adventure that I believe can be lived on this earth. That is the Christian life. It's not just boring religion. It's an adventure. It is the greatest adventure, the most exciting life you can have. But when the Lord said he came to give us life and to give it more abundantly, he didn't say it was all going to be good. He just said it's going to be a lot of it. That's what abundance means. And so we're kind of thankful that he has trusted us with as much as he has, and we want to be the best steward that we can be, because we know we will all stand before him on that great judgment day. And my goal is that we are, and everyone connected us, that we all hear, well done, good and faithful servant. You did what I called you to do. So anyway, thank you for joining today's rant, for letting me rant on like this. And thank you for all those who came up to me in Lakeland. Everywhere I go, I meet people sometimes shopping or whatever. People say, I watch your rants. And it's so encouraging to me. Thank you for watching them. Thank you for passing them on. And I appreciate all these messages I'm getting from you and from Randolph Deal, Sergio Carlisle, Elsie Holland. I mean, they're just rolling in so fast I can't hardly read them fast enough. But I just want to thank you. And I'll read the comments, read as many as I can whenever I do these. And I appreciate your comments, and even those that are challenging or negative. We believe in freedom of speech, and we believe in the dialogue. So anyway, thank you, and thank those of you who pass these on to your friends and all. God bless you. May this be one of the most awesome days you've ever had, and each day get better.